Alrighty, it's time to do the Dread Realm unboxing. I remember, Josh, this was probably the hardest pack to find. When I was assembling my collection, I bought pretty much everything about 1 to 2 months before they announced the repackage content. And so I just went all out and was scouring every place on the internet that I could find to find these packs. And the Dread Realm was, I think I spent like $30 on this pack. I found it, I think, on Amazon of all places, because I mean, I was sitting there. I have a huge Excel sheet. I was like, making them green when I got them. But I remember just like from this artwork, I just remember this one being really, really challenging to find. Also, that's kind of funny. You can see the reflection of my camera and everything in the. Anyways, okay. So glad you get to be here. I am happy you're here for it too. I am so pumped. So this is actually the last pack in the Agmar Awakened cycle. So that's also pretty interesting. Not going to do any spoilers. So this is it. After this, I think we move on to 2 towers. I need to confirm that, but since I'm playing chronological, I think we're moving into 2 towers, which is exciting. Oh, story. Good call. Battle of Cardoon. Do not read the following until the heroes have won the quest. As they slew Tharadur, his remains crumbled and decayed into ash before their very eyes, and his armor and weapons clattered to the ground harmlessly. But before they could rejoice in their victory, the howling of wolves surrounded the air as if all around them. Goblins! One of the rangers in the rear rank shouted. Goblins from Mount Graham! The company found themselves assaulted from the south by goblins, while the orcs of Cardoon rallied their defenses once more. They had but a moment to slip into the fortress before they surrounded on all sides. One of the elves that had accompanied them from Rivendell turned to the heroes with a grim expression and shouted over the clamor of the battle. You must make your way into the fortress and stop Mr. D's ritual. What about you? One of the heroes replied, worried. You cannot hold off these goblins forever. Then do not take forever. That's incredible. That's an amazing comeback. Then do not take forever. Now go. He besieged the heroes again before joining the fray. The heroes had no choice but to leave the rest. I lost my place. To fend off the goblins, slipping through the gates of Cardoon. They slew the few orcs that remained in their way and infiltrated the enemy's stronghold to confront Dejanar and rescue their friend. The story continues. What's armor throw? What is this? Mr. I placed his hand on the hilt of the sword, as he often did when he spoke sternly to his people. You are not coming with us on this mission. I have made myself... Let me make this. I've made myself clear on this matter numerous times. His order was firm, his gains unwavering. Years ago, when Armorthrill's father fell in battle, it was Mr. I who had taken the boy in and become his mentor, teaching him the ways of the Dunedain. The boy is smart, but reckless. I am a better fighter than any of the others my age, and the swiftest. I have passed every test the elders have given me. I am ready, I swear to you. Though Armorthrill was only 10 and 4, he spoke the truth. Among his peers, he had proved himself to be of superior intelligence and skill at arms. The boy was quick to learn and already knew much of the people's lore, but he's more interested in hunting orcs and others agents of the enemy. You believe winning 100 sparring matches and reading the wars of our ancestors prepares you for anything, but you have never hunted an enemy such as this. Orcs are tough-skinned, mighty, and truly frightening. Their hate is overwhelming. It drowns their thoughts with rage and makes them more dangerous than you can imagine. Armorthrill put on a brave face and began to speak, but his mentor shook his head and cut him off. My word is final. You are to stay here and continue your training. With that, Mr. I and the other rangers left Fornost with haste. Their mission was urgent. Scouts had reported orcs venturing along the hills of Evendim. Whether they were agents of a greater plot or searching for victims along the shores of the lake, the rangers would deal with them all the same. Armorthrill refused to be left behind so easily. He gathered several days' worth of rations and armed himself with 2 blades from Fornost Armory and followed the other rangers west. close enough that he could track their prints, but too far for them to tell that they were being shadowed. The young Dunedain took care to make sure he wasn't spotted. He knew if he revealed himself close to the river Brandywine, the Rangers would have no choice but to let him tag along. The Rangers' pace was much faster than Armithrill had anticipated, crossing many leagues each day. Though he struggled to keep up, he was determined to prove he was capable of the feats of his brethren, and resolve spurred him onward. He fancied that when he finally revealed himself to the other Rangers, they would be proud of him, impressed, and that he was able to keep pace. Just to check, did you do the Earthborn Rangers unboxing? I think you said you were going. Yes, I did that yesterday. It should be posted on my YouTube channel tomorrow, and I plan on playing it next week. I played 3 games yesterday. It's fantastic. It's really good. So yes. Unfortunately for Armithrill, he hadn't anticipated the orcs traveling east alongside the Brandywine. Seeing an easy target, they came upon Armithrill under the cover of night when they were strongest and the foe was weary. When the first one orc screamed a battle cry in a guttural tongue, Armithrill froze and his heart pounded in his chest. The orcs charged at him from all directions. Valiantly, he drew his blades and tried to defend himself, but he was overcome with terror. His years of training fled from his mind, replaced by panic. Within seconds, he was overmatched. Missed the unboxing. We'll watch it on YouTube then. Cool. Yeah, sorry about that. The orcs weren't looking to kill the young one. Instead, they knocked him to the ground and disarmed him. One orc grappled with him, and he was blindfolded and bound tightly with the thick rope. "Har, what have we got here, lads?" asked an orc with a laugh, kicking the bound Dunedain cruelly. "Looks like fresh meat," answered another. "Let's eat it." "Don't be too quick. This one's a youngin'. I bet there are more of his kind nearby. Let's catch him first, and we'll kill the whole lot." Armithrill cursed himself for his foolishness. Because of him, the other rangers would be waylaid by the band of orcs they sought to hunt. "No, I'm the only one," he began to say, but one of the orcs gagged him with the sash of heavy wool, and his voice came out muffled. They tied him upside down from a branch of a high tree and hid, knowing that any ranger nearby would come to investigate the sounds of the scuffle. Before long, Armithrill heard the sounds of leaves rustling around him, and suddenly the sounds of battle erupted like a storm. Blindfolded and unable to see, he could only listen helplessly as he heard swords whistle, bowstrings twang, and the clash of steel on steel, and then quiet. Armithrill was cut loose and dropped to the ground, his bonds cut one at a time, though he was held from behind firmly by the wrist by a gloved hand. When his blindfold was removed, it was Mr. I who stared at him wordlessly. All around the boy, the orcs slain at their feet. Many of the rangers were wounded, their armor nicked or cut loose. Bleeding wounds being healed with our herbal paste and bandages. Mr. I said nothing. It was the silence that stung the most. He knew he had failed him. He put him in danger. He began. His heart leaping into his throat as his words failed him. "I'm sorry," was all he could say before he began to sob. "It's all right, young one," his mentor said, taking the boy into his arms. "One day you'll return the favor." Oh, okay. Well, let's return the favor. And time to do some unboxing. So the Dread Realm unboxing. I'm pumped. Okay, let's see what we spent all this money on. New cards are great. I can't believe it feels like we went through Agmar so quickly. It feels like just the other day, or just like a couple weeks ago, we were starting it. But I mean, we went through it. Okay, here we go. First up, we got Arwen. Oh, what a beautiful... I love Arwen. We got Arwen, a 9 threat cost, 3/1/2, Noldor Noble. Discard a card from your hand to add 1 resource to a Noldor hero's resource pool. Or to Aragorn's resource pool. I love that. That's amazing. Okay, so the whole Noldor archetype is starting to come together. Because now we have ways to do this. That's limit once per round. So discard a card to get a resource. Really solid quester at 3, only a 9 cost. I love that you can give the resource to Aragorn. That is hilarious to me. The fact that they use text, like give it to any Noldor or Aragorn. Really cool. Also, Nice to have another spirit hero that is like really solid. So sweet. Arwen. That's exciting. Next up, you got Eothane. After a Rohan ally is discarded by a card effect, ready him. Seems kind of expensive at 4. Seems a little expensive at 4. The Rohan, after a Rohan ally is discarded from play by a card effect. So Rohan is all about, like, we have, you know, the cards that will discard. So he does get to ready, which means that he can use his 2 attack and 2 willpower, but he does seem really, really expensive. There's a whole cycle of 4-cost powerful allies coming up. Okay, well, there you go. Nice. Ooh, the Sword of Numenor. Look at that art. That is that's some epic art right there. I love that. Attached to a Dunedain or Gondor hero, restricted. They get +1 attack. After the attached hero participates in an attack that destroys an enemy with 5 or more printed hit points, exhaust this and add 1 resource to the resource pool. What I think even more so than just having like that effect, there's a sub theme starting here. Gotcha. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think the even better than having that ability is just to have a +1 attack, 1 cost attachment, not in tactics. Like that there is impressive. It has to be a Dunedain or a Gondor hero, which, oh, I guess Gondor is all about having resources as well. So, I mean, this just helps with that. I mean, a 1-for-1 is still really good, especially outside of tactics. The sword is very welcome in the pool. It's also not unique, which is interesting. So you can, it is restricted. So you are, you know, limited to how many you can have on one hero, but you can run 3x and run them all if you're running like all Dunedain. We got the Fornos Bowman. Ranged, gets +1 attack for each enemy engaged with you. Oh my gosh, so it's 3/1/1/1. That can get a little crazy, especially with Dunedain wanting to have enemies engaged with you. I mean, minimum. I like, if you have 3 enemies with 4 snares on them, I mean, he's at a 4 attack already. That's impressive right there. The Fornos Bowman is alrighty. Nice. Next up, we've got Hour of Wrath. Action. Choose a hero until the end of the phase. The chosen hero does not exhaust to attack or defend. Oh, wow. Valor action. Choose a player until the end of the phase. Each of that player's heroes do not exhaust to attack or defend. That seems incredibly powerful. Where you have, like, why am I drawing a blank on his name right now? The Gondor hero, the reduce the amount to play weapons or armor by 1. Whatever his name is. Wow. But now you can just defend, or if you're, oh my god. Okay, we're looking it up. That's gonna drive me insane. I think it starts with a B. Baragon. Wow. Yes, thank you, Josh. I don't know. Yeah. But you can just sit there and just have him defend for everybody. Choose a hero until the end of the phase. The chosen hero does not attack to exhaust to attack or defend. So now, Baragon, if you have him at 6 defense, you have him with the spear. He has Sentinel. You can just have him defend for everybody at the table for a 4 cost. I mean, that is really expensive. But if you're playing a 4-player game, or heck, if you're playing a Dunedain and you have, you know, a ton of enemies, that seems pretty good. The Bowman is huge for the Dunedain deck. Nice, yeah. I do want to play the Dunedain deck, but now I want to play Arwen. That's interesting. Yeah, that seems really good. Seems really, really good. Or there's the Gondor card where you attach it to a Gondor hero and they get +1 for each resource in their resource pool, and then you can just defend forever. Now it does, you know, cost 4, so you probably want to be paying for it elsewhere. But I mean, heck, have Elrond cheated in. Seems good. Seems really good. Elven Light. Seen this card. Elven Light can only be played from your discard pile. Return Elven Light to your hand, then draw one card. So awesome. Okay, so here, one cost. This is Arwen's card, right? So you can discard a card. You get to add a resource, and then you can draw bonkers. Here we go. So we return it to our hand from our discard pile, and then we get to draw a card. And so it's flexible, right? It's a +1 card draw every single turn with Arwen, but also if you have the resources, you can pay for multiple. And then if you have other ways to discard cards, you can have like Protector of Lorien. I'm sure there are other things that I'm not thinking of right now, but you can discard the cards for benefit, then pay to get them back, discard them for benefits again. You can use it to discard cards for all the other Noldor effects. Yeah, that's awesome. That's really fun. I'm here for that. I'm gonna move this here so it looks pretty, but then you just get to draw a ton of cards to the sea and sea. The Elistor hero, Elven Jeweler. Yeah. Oh yeah. Put him into play. Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. It's a 1 cost for effectively +2 cards. I mean, now one of the cards is this, but you can discard it for all the other benefits. That's really, really cool. Elven Jeweler. Let's look at Elven Jeweler real quick. I think that's the one where you can discard 2 cards to put her into play. Discard 2 cards from your hand to put Elven Jeweler into play from your hand under your control. So now if you have these cards, you can toss Elven Light to put these into play, grab them right back. Elven Light is the card that makes Noldor work. It seems really sick. Seems really, really sick. Also, sorry, I'm rewinding a little bit. Sword is incredible because Steward gives you the Gondor trait. You can play this on anybody. It does not have to be a Gondor hero, because as long as you have Steward, you get the Gondor trait, so Sword can play. It's so fun. I'm pumped to play this. This looks really fun. Then you said Aristor hero. Let's take a look at that. Could also work for Aowen. Aristor is, I think, here, right? Draw 3 additional cards at the beginning of the resource phase. At the end of the round, discard all cards from your hand. That just sounds so much fun. So you draw 3 cards. You're discarding all the cards. But Elven Light can be played, so you can pull cards back. That seems like a really fun way to play right there. And then To the Sea and Sea. What is that? I don't remember that card. I may have put it under S. Spirit Attachment. How much does it cost? I don't know if I have it yet. I don't know if I have that card yet. 1, I think? I do. I do have it. To the Sea and Sea. It reduces the cost of Noldor allies? To the Sea, to the Sea. look through. Maybe I'd never put it in my... You don't have... Okay. No worries, no worries. I was like, I missed that somehow. Or no worries, no worries. Okay. I thought it sure was this. Okay, no worries. Cool. But still really fun. We got Tale of Tenerval. Exhaust a Noldor character to ready a Dunedain character or vice versa until the end of the phase. Add their printed willpower to the other character's stats. That's impressive. That's really cool. That's interesting. Well, it's good with Elven Light. Nice. Nice, that's fun. Yeah, that's really interesting because you can, like, if you don't need the questing or if you're battling or something, you can have Arwen throw her willpower into battle. That's nice. The Galadriel Healer. Sylvan Healer. Oh, another Sylvan card. Always love those. After Galadriel Healer entered play, choose a player, heal 1 damage from each hero controlled by that player. That seems good. That seems really, really good for a 2-cost Sylvan hero that wants to bounce in, bounce out. Play that with Elrond. It's now 2 damage from every hero. That seems really solid. That seems really, really solid. I'm happy with that card. We got Weather Stained Cloak. Attached to a ranger character. While the attached character is committed to a quest, it gains response. Exhaust it to cancel 1 point of damage just dealt to the attached character. That seems very specific. While they're committed to a quest. I'm trying to think of when I would be dealing damage. I guess that would just be sorcery cards, or I'm sorry, treachery cards. Okay. Very, very specific scenarios, I guess. And then we've got the Sword Thane. Attached to a unique ally belonging to any sphere of influence. Attached character loses the ally type and gains the hero card type. Whoa. Interesting. Huh. That kind of hurts my head. Okay. So, Sword Thane. That seems really cool. I'm trying to think of what and who I want to trigger that on. Such a fun card. Yeah, because so they'll start gaining resources, correct? Opens a lot of allies to get inserted in. That's also very true. Whereas like this is, you know, attached to a hero. It's a Dunedain or Gondor hero. So now if you throw it on the bowman, you can play Sword of Numenor on the bowman. Huh. If you throw it on Radagast, does he collect 2 resources a turn? Or is it still just 1? Now I'm just thinking of weird things to throw it on. And no, you can't do it on Radagast because he's not a part of the sphere of influence. Never mind. Huh. Yeah, that's a fun card. That's a really fun card. It's like a more exciting resourceful almost. Huh. Well, very cool. Awesome. Well, there you go. This is a really fun pack. This is a really interesting pack. There's a lot of cool stuff going on, especially with the Noldor archetype. But we also got some really fun Dunedain stuff, some crossover, almost like alliance cards between Dunedain and Noldor. Got new Sylvans. I'm always happy about that. And then this Sword Thane is going to hurt my head for a while. So really cool pack. Really cool pack. I'm happy that we were able to push through the Battle of Cardoom and open the Dread Realm. Sweet. Awesome. Next stream is going to be next Monday. I think we're going to be doing Lord of the Rings. Or not Lord of the Rings, I'm sorry. We're going to be doing Marvel Champions. And then Tuesday, I think we're going to break out some Earthborn Rangers. So I think that's kind of what is coming up. Appreciate you all hanging out. Thanks for all the help and suggestions for taking on a pretty nasty quest. I appreciate y'all. And I'll see you next time. Alrighty. Peace.